And we're live, buddy.
Pain.
Pain.
It
Suffering.
is this all? These are the only words that we know. Now you might be sitting there wondering, asking yourself, what is a Chicago Cubs fan and a Minnesota Twins fan have in common this week? And if you don't know the answer to that, you might have been living under a rock because Carlos Correa is a rat.
Yeah.
He's not a rat. He got paid. He got paid.
He got way paid, dude.
Yeah, the man made out pretty good.
Your guy Jed is never going to give Carlos Correa a 13-year deal.
Actually, I'm glad that you brought that up because he didn't even offer him a deal.
Oh,
yes, that is something that I saw. I saw this last night. It popped up on Twitter, and everybody started talking about it. That Jed Hoyer never officially made an official offer to Carlos Correa, other than kicking the tires. I'm like, this man. I don't understand the direction anymore. I don't. Yeah. I don't get it.
I couldn't tell you. Well, this is just like a therapy session, right? We're just gonna let it all out because we feel that we're about a full day, and maybe a couple hours after the aftermath of Correa.
I've given myself the 24 hours before I talk about the Carlos Correa signing.
Yeah, I personally, if I saw the Twins signed him for 13 years, I don't know how I would have reacted.
That's a very long time to be tied down to one guy, especially when he's 29 now, so he's going to be 42 years old when this contract is up.
Yeah.
That's weird to think because he's 29. I'm 25. Like, I'm going to be in my late 30s when this guy is done with the Giants, and I don't want to think about that. That's very depressing to think about.
He's going to be a $26 million paid designated hitter by the time he's done with the.
And will he even be that good?
I don't know.
Will he even be that good? That's something that the market is starting to pump out with all these 11, 12, 13. Even Tatis with that 14 last year deal. These guys are going to be on these teams for the rest of their careers. They're going to get old. Right now, you're looking at Carlos Correa with what he's putting out, and for the San Francisco Giants, you're paying him $27 million a year. That's a steal right now.
Yeah.
But 10 years from now, $27 million for a 39-year-old shortstop is going to look really bad.
Yeah.
And I know that the argument is going to be, if you get a World Series or two out of it, it was worth it. But what happens if they don't?
Yeah.
If you look at the Giants roster, they are nowhere near the best team in their division.
No.
With Carlos Correa. They're still not the best. Nowhere near it. You're looking at what the Dodgers and the Padres are doing, and I'd still put my money on both those teams before I even thought about the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, 100%. The three teams that we're in, I'm pretty sure if I had to bet, you guys had the best roster that was able to compete to win right now that he could have paired with.
Yeah, especially our division is very weak.
Yes.
I mean, Cleveland is Cleveland, and they're always going to have pitching, and we'll see whether or not their lineup was just a one-hit wonder.
Right.
But, I mean, even their lineup wasn't even super good. You saw that in the playoffs where
when they played
won these, like, one-scorer.
Even with the Rays. Yeah, what was it, the 17-inning wild card game, too?
Yeah.
That was stupid. Golly.
That's just how they play. They grind. It's annoying.
If it works, it works.
But, I mean, Chicago's kind of the White Sox, not the Cubs.
Right.
The White Sox are kind of on the decline a little bit because
they're stagnant. They haven't done anything. They haven't added significantly to this team besides Mike Clevenger.
Yeah, and their farm system is not. I think it's like 29th.
Yeah, because everybody's up at Chicago now.
Yeah,
and even then, their injury the injury bug for the White Sox is so bad.
Yeah,
it sucks. It sucks to see. You hate to see it. I mean, obviously, as a Cubs fan, with how much I have to hear it, I'm pretty okay with still having one more playoff series than the White Sox since 2017. But sure, go off. Granted, that number's only one, but it's still one, and it still counts.
You still got it. That's all that matters.
But looking at the team, like you had just signed Christian Vasquez to replace Gary Sanchez at catcher. You still got Byron Buxton on the team, who is going to be an underdog AL MVP pick every single season.
Yeah, if he can stay healthy, which is a big if because he has never done it. But
if he can do it, I think he's got a great chance.
He's gonna do it one of these years. I have to believe it.
It's like Christian McCaffrey. He's hurt every year, but he's always gonna have he's gonna have that 1 year where he's actually there the entire time.
Byron Buxton is the Christian McCaffrey of the MLB. That's a perfect analogy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's just hope he doesn't get traded.
He's not getting traded. We would have to have an emergency podcast because if 100%. He gets traded, I will be shocked. Anyone else on the team, I won't be shocked. But Buxton, we have him on one of the most team-friendly deals. Like, I think we're paying him like $17 million for the next 7 years. Wow, which is nothing
for him and what he puts out. No, that's nothing. That's chump change baseball.
In his contract, he has incentives, so that contract can go up. And he can get paid like an elite MLB player that he is, but his first initial cap hit is not that high. But yeah, I mean, we have on our roster, we're kind of in the mix of old not old, but like the old core and the new core are kind of clashing.
Yeah.
And the problem is a lot of the guys, we had the injury bug a lot, like the White Sox did. I mean, you could have an entire starting lineup that looked better with the injury people than the other, and it was not fun. And the September slump or collapse, whatever you want to call it, was real because we were in like a game out of first place, and then we ended up in third just because of how awful that was. An awful month of baseball.
Oh. That'll do it. That'll do it.
That'll do it.
A few key injuries can derail the entire season.
Yeah.
And it sucks, but that's happened to the White Sox the last few years too. Yeah. But yes, AL Central, easiest division to compete in the playoffs. If you get good in that division, you're getting in. Same thing goes for the Cubs, I would say. The only thing I think that makes it a little bit tougher is I would say that right now I would want to play the White Sox or the Guardians more than I would want to play the Cardinals or the Brewers.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Right. I said it on my episode earlier this week because, of course, facing one Contreras brother wasn't bad enough. Now I got to play both of them like 30-something times a year, and it's just the biggest double bird from the front office I've seen in a while.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Ooh, we got some breaking news.
Oh, you do?
We got some. The Cubs have made a signing. It's not a shortstop, so don't get your hopes up.
Mm-hmm.
It's reliever Brad Boxberger to a 1-year deal.
Hey, you gotta shore up that bullpen.
Shore up the bullpen for the 2 runs we're gonna score up for every 9 innings.
Honestly, I thought that was a fake name.
Maybe we can win a 1-0 game in the 13th inning if our pitching's really good.
Dang,
we might get lucky.
He's solid.
He's not bad. He had a 2.95 ERA last year. I think he had 65 innings pitched or something like that.
Yeah, 64 innings, 68 strikeouts. I think I'd take that.
I would take it. Yeah. It's definitely going to be one of those guys that when we suck at the end of the summer, we'll begin pepping him up so we can trade him to the Mets of the world, the Yankees, someone that's going to be in the playoffs.
That's the hope.
That's the hope.
That's what you got to do.
But yeah, I saw the offer that the Twins made to Correa, the 10 years, $285 million. Do you think it really came down to the extra 3 years the Giants gave him?
Yeah. It's an extra $65 million. I think $2 million a year is not going to be worth the extra 3 years of getting paid $20+ million a year. And especially the Twins just weren't
expecting him to do anything at the end of it.
Yeah, the Twins just weren't willing to go there. And it sucks, but that's just the reality. We're not that kind of ball club. We are a mid-level ball club where we can you could make some of these offers. You know, like that offer is the biggest offer we've ever made in the history of our team. And it's 100%. I think it's beat it by like 100+ million. So
you beat the Cubs by 100+ million. The
right.
Cubs.
The Cubs.
Chicago's a top 3 market in sports.
Well,
I don't.
So this is the problem. This is my issue with baseball, and I'm just gonna. The salary cap needs to happen, but I don't know if it's like I don't know if it does or it doesn't. But I'm sick and tired of the same teams.
Yep.
The same teams getting these players. It's always going to be the Giants,
right?
The Yankees, the Dodgers, Padres. It's always
Steve Cohen just straight up doesn't care.
Yeah, Mets just
he doesn't care.
No, Mets are going to sign Shohei Ohtani for $500 million. Like it's just going to probably happen.
Since you brought up Shohei Ohtani, can I have my little Shohei Ohtani rant with the
Cubs? Yeah, go for it.
Okay, cool. I just need to get this off my chest because I'm tired of the part of Cubs Twitter that is saying, oh, maybe they're gearing up for Ohtani next year. Maybe they're gearing up for Ohtani next year. They're not getting Shohei Ohtani. He's not coming to Chicago. I don't know who I have to get to. I don't know what I need to say, but he's not coming to Chicago.
Yeah.
If the fact that we can't even make Carlos Correa an offer, what makes you think that we're going to even text Shohei Ohtani's agent? Yeah. I think I posted a meme a few days ago in response to somebody. It was Thanos throwing the moon at Tony Stark. and I put the Dodgers logo on Thanos' face.
Oh god.
And I put the entire US national debt on the moon because that's what the Dodgers will go to get this guy. They will match the entire national deficit to sign him.
Yep.
He's going to be a Dodger. The Cubs with Jed Hoyer, we're not even going to get close. No.
Yeah.
There are 30 teams in baseball. 29 will actually try to sign Shohei, and the Cubs will be the only one that doesn't.
Yeah, their lack of moves this offseason is incredibly suspect. I totally think he's going to be a Dodger next year.
Oh, yeah. They've been flying under the radar. They haven't really made any significant signing, like you said. They're not adding to the payroll. They really haven't brought anybody back. We've got Bellinger on the 1-year deal. Justin Turner's still sitting there as a free agent. He was solid. They didn't really compete with the Phillies to get in on Trey Turner.
Yeah.
Xander Bogaerts, nothing. Dansby Swanson, they say they're in, but I think that might just be at this point trying to inflate the offers.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
All right. Well, let's revert. Yes. What are our teams gonna do? What can we possibly do to, like, we have Dansby out there,
right?
I don't know if I haven't seen you guys are in on Rodon at all.
I don't think so. The most that I've seen is the Yankees. Pretty much. I've seen the Yankees. I've seen the Twins, and I think there was another team, but I can't remember who it was that are in on Rodon.
Yeah, it was the Yankees, Twins, and Giants.
Of course.
It's like Giants. One of these things is not like the other. Two huge teams.
I don't get it.
I mean, Rodon's going to get like 7 years, $200 million. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Like, if the Twins signed Rodon tomorrow or later this afternoon, I will be flabbergasted. 1. 2, I won't be upset about Correa not coming back because the position of need more than anything is starting pitching, and you go and you got it starting like ace. Like, he will be your number 1.
Yeah.
And then after that, we got Sonny Gray, who's a good number 2. You got Joe Ryan, who's a good number 3. You got, if Tyler Mahle can stay healthy, he's probably a good number 3, so you have him as 4. And then you put either Kenta Maeda at 5, or you put in one of your prospects at 5.
That's not bad.
And that's something you can roll with. And you can survive with Kyle Farmer as your shortstop until Royce Lewis gets back in probably late July.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll see what happens.
That's the thing with how you've got Royce Lewis. You got Arias in the minors, right?
No, Arise has won the batting title this year.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah,
That goes to show how much I watched baseball last year. To be fair, I was done after May because I was already getting into football season because my team was a joke.
I do recall that. But yeah, Arise has been in the majors for like 3 years now. But
Oh God. Well, I'm thinking of someone else. Maybe I was thinking of the other guy.
there's a
Maybe I was
guy.
thinking of
His
the other
name
guy.
is Brooks Lee.
Okay.
He's a short. You probably never heard of him, but he was
Probably
the 5th
not.
overall draft pick last year, and he's one of our shortstop prospects. This dude, I was obsessed with him because he was a shortstop. I'm like, why did we pick a shortstop? We have Royce Lewis, but he got hurt.
Okay.
So he went from single A, like low single A, to double A in like 2 months.
No, that's
He
valid.
was absolutely killing it.
Wow.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be shocked if they were just like, you know what, shortstop's yours, and then just threw him out there and see what happens.
Why not?
I think he's that good.
Like
He's a switch hitting shortstop.
Yes, you've got internal candidates that can take over the
Yeah.
shortstop position. And this isn't me knocking Nico Horner because I think Nico Horner would be a great shortstop option. But I look across the diamond at who we've got at second base. And White Sox fans, you were right. You were right. If I have to watch Nick Madrigal get 500 plate appearances at second base this year, I'm going to scream. I'm going to freaking scream. You can't come out and say that the offense sucked that last year and then not do anything significant to fix it. You can't come out and say you want to shore up the middle of the field defense. And, outside of Cody Bellinger, you don't even know if Nick Madrigal is going to be healthy. So what are you going to do? Put David Bodie at second base for 100 some games, 80 games? No. This is something that I think a lot of people are forgetting. The shift is gone, my friends. It's gone. What you're going to see, probably not this winter, but you're going to see it next winter, is second basemen are going to become more valuable. The markets for them will go up. If you're a great second baseman or if you have a shortstop, 2 great shortstops, one of them can play second, their markets will go up because you can't bring someone over to cover them when you get a lefty up to bat anymore. They're going to have to be better than they've been.
I didn't even think about that in the shift. You're going to see some really fun, spectacular second base plays, I bet.
Yep.
Because you're going to have the second base shift as far as they can one way or the other, and they're going to have to make a play to their left or right a lot more than they would have.
And I think that's the reason that we have been so adamant about adding one of these shortstops, and now obviously we're down to the one, is because we can put Nico back at second. That's what we did in the later years of having Baez. We put Baez at short, we put Nico at second, and it worked out pretty great. Nico would be one of the top 3 best second basemen in the league. He's just okay at shortstop comparatively, but he would easily be top 3, maybe top 5 if I'm just being a homer second baseman.
Yeah, it's kind of like when Jorge Polanco was at shortstop for us. Like, Jorge Polanco's a great second baseman. He's a very below average shortstop. But it's something, I don't know what it is, but when they go to second base, they can play better. So
I don't get it. Maybe they just like that side of the field better.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Who do you want more? Do you want Dansby Swanson, but you have to pay him a lot of money, or anyone else, but they only get a 1-year deal?
Oh my God. I am so tired of Jed Hoyer and the Chicago Cubs front office operating as though we are the Tampa Bay Rays or the Oakland Athletics. I'm so tired of the 1-year deals because a 1-year deal means nothing to me. Because I think that we're going to turn around. If Cody Bellinger is an above average ball player, we're going to trade him at the trade deadline. They say that's not going to be a thing, but I think it's going to happen. Because if he's good, he's not coming back next year. He's going to go get a payday somewhere. So I would rather have Dansby Swanson on the Cubs for the 8-year deal if that's what he's projected to get. I saw someone say that he's probably going to get closer to like a Javi Baez deal that got signed last year rather than what Correa, Bogarts, and Turner got this year, which that's fine. And part of me thinks, I know it's going to be biased because I'm a Cubs fan, but there is a draw to him wanting to come to Chicago. He just got married. His wife plays soccer in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you want her to be in Chicago and then you be out in Los Angeles or even back in Atlanta? Like,
yeah,
we have the resources to make him a Cub.
Yeah.
And I think there might be a part of him that wants to come to Chicago. Maybe I'm being biased, but I think that there's a narrative there.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of time. I think Dansby is going to be a Cub. That's just all the pieces are aligning there.
Right.
I'd like to say that you have the money.
But we do have the money. We're
everyone
just
has
on
the money. That's the problem with
the
MLB.
That's why when the Giants whiffed on Judge, when I saw they gave Correa $10 million less, I go, oh, yeah, there's your Aaron Judge money.
Yeah. But yeah, I have a gut feeling that Dansby's going to be a Cub.
Right.
Or a Dodger.
Right.
Or a Twin. He could be a Twin. I heard we're talking to him, but I don't know. It'd be like I mean, Dansby Swanson's a great shortstop, but it would feel like a consolation prize when you go from Correa to Dansby because you're not getting better. You're just not getting as worse.
Right.
Which sounds
and that's
awful,
what's not fair to this guy because he's not a bad ball player. He's really not. He's really good.
He is, yeah.
He's going to be compared to these other three guys because I believe that he was always looked down as the last option of the four. Which that's how the market's played out.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably fair. He's definitely talent. I mean, he's only had maybe 2.5 good years of baseball. So that's something where it's not Xander, Trey, and Correa who have consistently put up good numbers throughout. So yeah, I expected news to be dropping within the few days after Correa signed, but we still haven't gotten Dansby. We still haven't gotten Rodon. I have a feeling Rodon's going to the Yankees, Dansby's going to the Cubs, and the Twins are going to be going to trade everybody.
No, not the trade everybody.
Oh, I think it's coming. I think
load up the farm.
This is my prediction. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
You guys sign Dansby. Yankees sign Rodon. We go into panic mode. We're going to be trading Kepler, Arise, Polanco, Sonny Gray, and Kenta Maeda. We're going to be making those 5 trades.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to be, they're all going to be gone.
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
Now let me ask you something because I saw this weird trade proposal that I just cannot get behind. I can't because we need a backup catcher. This might be just 2 a.m. Cubs Twitter. We're like, what if we trade Nick Madrigal for Yasmani Grandal, another Chicago trade? And I go, dear God, no. Dear God, no. I can't do this again. I can't keep trading with the White Sox because I have to keep hearing about how we got fleeced and all that jazz. So my question for you is, what if there was someone on the White Sox that you wanted and they called and said, what would it take to get Jorge Polanco from you? Would you make that deal? If, assuming that your prediction goes right, Dansby goes to the Cubs, Rodon goes to the Yankees, and you're in panic mode, sell. Would you make a trade with the White Sox?
For, what's that pitcher's name?
Polanco, Rise, whoever they want to put at second base.
Yeah. What's the pitcher's name that the White Sox have? He was not great last year.
Kopech?
No.
Giolito? Lucas Giolito.
I'd do Giolito for Polanco. I'd probably do that. But it'll never happen. We won't trade with the White Sox, but I feel like
so
Giolito.
Rarely you see major league players traded within the division.
Yeah. He sucked last year though, but I think he picked it up at the end.
Yeah.
But he wasn't great at first.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Besides these two guys, is there anyone currently left on the market that if you were to still buy, you would want to add to the team?
Eovaldi, probably.
Okay.
I think he would be I don't know his stats last year. I don't know if they were great, but Eovaldi stats, production value. Okay, he had a 3.87 ERAs. I don't think he started many games. Yeah, he was fine. I would like to have him, probably. He probably won't be as expensive as Rodon.
No.
But I think he might want to go back to the Red Sox. But probably him, because I think he's the only pitcher that wouldn't be just a 1 year, sign him and then bye-bye after the end of the year. We already have so much depth at starting pitcher for the farm system that are like the same tier pitcher as the rest of the free agents besides Rodon and Eovaldi. So if we sign a different one of those pitchers, like a Dylan Bundy, like we did last year, or Chris Archer, I will scream like you will.
Yes.
Yes. It's awful, but yeah. So for you, is it Dansby or bust at this point?
It's just hard to envision a world where if you don't get Dansby Swanson, with how public we've been about going to get a shortstop, Jed Hoyer, president of Baseball Ops, comes on the network and says we're in on shortstops. Carter Hawkins, general manager, comes on and says we're in on shortstops. You can't put these guys out there saying you want a shortstop and then come away with none of them. So I think it is Dansby or bust for us. Should we miss out on him, there are still moves I would like to make. I would really, really, really like to get Trey Mancini on roster to take some time at first base. I know we've got Matt Mervis probably coming up this season. He mashed in Arizona Fall League, but Trey Mancini would be a great bat to add to the lineup, whether it's at first base or at DH. Omar Narvaez is my backup catcher that I would like to get taken away from the Brewers.
Mm-hmm.
And then there were a few relievers that I would really like to add. Obviously, I wrote this up and got done with my notes literally minutes before the Brad Boxberger signing, so maybe this would change some things. But I'd like to see Andrew Chafin come back. I think Adam Ottavino, he's a free agent from the Mets. He wasn't half bad last year.
Mm-hmm.
He's old, but a one-year deal. Just shore it up. If he's great and he catches fire late season, trade him.
Yeah.
And then my last one was Alex Reyes. He had a shoulder surgery last May.
Okay.
But he has a career 2.86 ERA with the Cardinals. So it's like maybe you get him in the pitch lab. You see if he can get something going again.
Yeah.
Give him a minor league deal with an invite to camp. I don't know.
We'll see what happens. Well, no more Correa.
No more Correa.
It's over at least. It's like we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
I've been like not stressed about it. It's just like been my life for the last whatever. I've just been doing refreshes. I'm still doing it because there's still more free agents left.
Yes.
But at least I don't have to worry about Correa. And he's a genuinely good human. Just seeing him, I feel like he's genuine, and I've heard nothing but good things about him in the organization. Yeah. So,
because he's not on the Astros anymore.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
but so we'll see what happens
we'll absolutely see what happens.
If the Twins sign Dansby today or anytime, I apologize in advance.
I'll scream.
Yeah.
I'll scream so loud they'll hear me at Wrigley.
You know what helps?
By the way, I'm in Orlando, Florida, so that's a pretty big scream.
It's a pretty big scream. You know what helps? And I did this yesterday. I completely rebuilt the Twins on the show. So I traded those people that I said I traded. I basically traded all of them. Yeah. I signed Rodon and I signed Dansby, and we rolled. And I may have made a few edits, but we won the World Series a year later. So
that's not bad.
No, I know. So, it is what it is. It's totally realistic. We totally win the World Series if we sign Rodon and Swanson. So just make it happen, Twins. And because I honestly think if we only sign Correa versus if, like, this is a total long shot hypothetical. I'm just saying, if we signed Rodon and Swanson instead of just signing Correa, that's a net positive because you're getting an ace and a shortstop. But it won't happen. But I'm saying if they did make it happen, all would be forgiven.
All would be forgiven.
Yeah.
But the most excited state in the country would be
Minnesota.
That one.
Yes. And I would be very sad. I would be a very sad boy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'd feel bad. I'd be like, you know what? We should petition to have the Twins trade Swanson to the Cubs once Royce Lewis comes back.
Let's do it.
We just
pick up the phone, Jed.
We just need him for a few months until Royce comes back, and then we'll hand him back. But all right. Any other thoughts, comments? I feel a lot better. I don't know about you. I feel a lot better. Ben's not so.
I'm not so sure. I still got a lot of built-up rage.
It might, like, this is no disrespect. It probably has a little bit to do. I feel like if my team's completely healthy, we don't have as many holes as what the Cubs do. Because we can put Kyle Farmer at short. It won't be fun, but Kyle Farmer can play shortstop. If he's our starting shortstop, I will be upset. But we could. That is possible at this point.
Yes.
But yeah, I feel okay. If they think that this is okay and they're okay with no one showing up to the ballpark, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Anyways, I think that'll probably do it.
Yeah, we'll see what happens over the coming days with these free agents that are left.
Yeah, this has been the crossover of Minnesota sports now and Into the Ivy.
Yes.
Follow him, subscribe to him, whatever you got to do. We got merch at Minnesota Sports Now. This is one of them. A bunch of I Survived
a lot.
Yeah, you can go to my Etsy account and buy them. This is like a super nice quality shirt. I really enjoy it. We also have hats, which I'll show Ben what the hats look like.
I like the hats.
But if you want to see the hat, you got to go to the shop.
Got to go to the shop to get the hat.
Exactly. All right. With that being said, peace out.
See you next time.